If you're an educator on the Our Daily Bread CACFP food program, at some point you've submitted a claim for reimbursement. But have you ever wondered how the reimbursement process works and how you can secure a maximized reimbursement? Well, today we're going to discuss just that. A few factors contribute to the reimbursement process, and these include enrollment forms, accurate meal counting, ensuring you're serving all components needed for each meal type, and finally, for our daycare centers, checking your milk audit for accuracy. Now, this is by no means an exhaustive list, but they do contribute to your reimbursement process. Let's take a look at enrollment forms. Enrollment forms are an essential component to the reimbursement process. Without enrollment forms on file, you will unfortunately not be able to claim the children in your care. Annually, each child's enrollment form must be renewed as long as they are still in your care. Enrollment forms must be completely filled out and sent into Our Daily Bread. For our daycare centers, in order to receive a proper deeming status of free, reduced, or paid, every part of the enrollment addendum and income eligibility page must be filled out. Let's take a look at what happens when an enrollment form is not completely filled out and/or sent into Our Daily Bread. Let's say that you're an in-home daycare educator and you have a child in your care that has been attending your childcare site all month, but you have not sent in an enrollment form for this child. When it comes around to the claiming process, if we still have not received an enrollment form, you will unfortunately not be able to claim that child. According to our reimbursement rates chart, as you see here on the screen, if you are a Tier 1 educator and you do the math, you'll be missing out on over $120 on your claim. Now, let's say this was not one child, but 5 children. That's over $600 that you'll be missing out on. Now, let's look at our daycare centers. Let's say an enrollment form is missing the last 4 digits of the social. This enrollment form will be considered incomplete and would automatically be deemed at a paid rate, when it could have been deemed at a free or reduced rate. This significantly reduces your reimbursement. Now, where you could have received over $100 for the month for this particular child, you'll only be receiving about $20. Now, if you have multiple children at your childcare site with incomplete income eligibility forms, that's a significant loss for your childcare site. Well, let's shift gears and look at accurate meal counting. According to the USDA guidelines, meals claimed must be limited to 2 snacks and 1 meal, or 2 meals and 1 snack per child per day. By all means, you may serve children more than the above mentioned meals, but you'll only be reimbursed for the allowable meals per federal regulations. As a reminder, when adding your attendance and meal counts, do not go over the allowable meal count. All childcare sites must use an acceptable method of counting meal participation. The following methods are acceptable. You can record your attendance and meal counts for every classroom at point of service on an attendance and meal count sheet. That eliminates that 4th meal. You can also directly record your attendance and meal counts to the KidCare or Minute Menu system. Be sure to double check your attendance and meal count sheets for accuracy. Now, I want to add in a little note here that attendance records are not a suitable option to derive meal counts from. So be sure that when you are listing attendance, you are also recording the child for the meals that they were present for. Let's take a look at serving all meal components. There are 5 meal components in the CACFP. That's milk, meat alternates, vegetable, fruit, and grain. These 5 components are necessary to ensure that children are receiving a well-balanced diet. For guidelines on what to serve for each meal, please be sure to refer back to your meal pattern food chart. If you do not have one of these charts, please check it out on our website at odbcacfp.org or give us a call and we'll be happy to send you a copy. The meal pattern chart is an excellent tool to hang up in your kitchen so that you can ensure that you are serving the necessary components for each meal. Please keep in mind that if you are not serving and recording the appropriate meal components for each meal, you will be in danger of falling out of compliance, and you will not receive a maximized reimbursement as you could have if you fall into compliance. Please keep in mind that if you are not serving the required components for each meal, that you'll be in danger of losing out on a maximized reimbursement. Okay, well, finally, let's take a look at checking your milk audit for accuracy. If you are a childcare center and you're entering your attendance and meal counts at point of service, you will have an up-to-date count of how much milk you are required to purchase and serve. I would highly suggest checking your milk audit before every shopping trip to ensure you purchase enough milk. Believe it or not purchasing and serving enough milk is one of the biggest factors in a significant loss of reimbursement. Well, that's all we have for today. Until next time, continue staying committed to helping the children in your care make healthy choices.